Before I get started with this, I have to give a shout out to Blacklight Revelations 2, or if you are familiar with him, his name is Rob, and he does excellent commentaries. He also collabs with TD Hip Hop Media. They have a channel together, and shout out to them because at the time of me recording this video, they are literally like less than 20 subscribers away from 1,000. By the time this video goes up, they will be well over 1,000. So shout out and congrats to them, especially since they only been running that channel with each other for way less than a month, and they've already almost at 1,000. So congrats to them on that regard. So this is going to be history in the making for my channel as far as for a series of videos that I do. Now, y'all know I have a series of videos called the Bedbuckkken series, which is the male counterpart to the Taurean series of videos. But the reason why we're making history today is because for the first time ever, I'm doing a part 2 to someone I already did one on. And usually I don't like to go back and do a Bedbuckkken video on someone who I've already done one on, because I like to leave room for, other candidates. But to be honest, this can be an unlimited series because there's way too many of them out here. But this one right here definitely deserved a part 2, because I was listening to Blacklight Revelations 2, and they were talking about Herschel Walker and Brandon Tatum, who you see right here, as I call him, Brandon Fakum. And he played a video where the title of Brandon's video is called "White Guy Says N-Word Live on the Radio." So I guess he has people that they will call in or whatever the case may be. And this white guy literally pulled a Kramer. And if y'all don't know what I mean, I'm talking about from Seinfeld, where the guy who played him did a stand up and he got upset by one of the hecklers and he started saying out the N-word a bunch of times. And in this video, with this audio that you're going to hear, and this is going to be a stop and go because the audio is 7 minutes and 40 seconds long. I may not even play the whole thing because the point will be pretty much proven within like the first 3 minutes. But I might play the whole thing just in case there's some things that I might have missed. So this is going to be another one of those breakdown videos, but instead of me playing the entire video because I'm not trying to play 7 minutes and 40 seconds of a video and then have to go back and play it over and stop and go. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it.
This video is brought to you by the Officer Tatum store. The Officer Tatum store, get the merch link in the description section, 50% off clearance items. We also discounted the book, Beating Black and Blue book. I know that people are going through a hard time financially, so I discounted the book. $15 for non-signed copy, $20 for signed copy. Also, we got the...
Hold on, yo. Let me just get through the babble right quick. He's going through and like promoting his stuff. We ain't trying to hear all of that. Let's just get to what we came here for. No need to waste time.
Time ago live, make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this.
You want to know what's so crazy? Y'all can't see it, but in his intro, after he said share this video, he bucked them eyes so hard. It's like the coon in him just activated. It was the wildest thing. It was the wildest thing. Good thing y'all are not watching the video. Listen, I'm doing this for y'all. Trust me, it pains me to have to play this back for y'all and do this. And as much as it pains for you to have to actually hear what you're about to hear, trust me, it is so cringe. It is so cringe. But it's exactly why he's getting a part 2.
All right, people are calling in. 844-900-7243, 844-900-7243. Let's go with from Ohio. Welcome to the Officer Tatum Show.
Brother, what is your take on the African-American youth regularly and constantly referring to themselves as the N-word?
Yeah, I think
and see, that's the thing. This is so you have this white guy that called in. Brandon, he muted out the person's phone number and where they're from, but I can read lips and tell where this guy is from. Because he kind of, if you watch the video, you can kind of hear where he's from and what state he was referring to. I'm not going to say on here though. This was a setup question. The white guy called in and asked Brandon. He said, "How do you feel about black people basically trying to gatekeep or trying to keep other people, other groups from saying the N-word?" It was a setup question. And let's just say, I'm going to say it right now, Fakum failed. He basically did the same thing that Or you're going to hear him do the same thing that Roland Martin did when he had Richard Spencer on his show when he used to be at when he used to do News One on TV One back a few years ago. When Richard Spencer asked him, Roland, how do you identify yourself, like, you know, race wise? He didn't say race wise because that would, you know, he wanted to see how he's going to respond. And what did Roland say? I am a Christian man. And Richard Spencer was like, oh, okay. And we was looking at it like, Roland, he wasn't asking what your religion was. He was asking you, do you identify yourself as a black man? That was the question. And like Fakum is going to do, Roland failed. But let me go ahead and continue playing. Trust me, it gets worse from here. Way worse.
I think it's very disheartening and it's very embarrassing. I used to be one of those young men that used the N-word, every word out of my mouth. And when I got older, I realized how degrading it is, and I realized how foolish I was and how people perceive me.
So see, now Brandon, he gave the response that the guy was kind of looking for. You know, it was so degrading. I used to be one of those people that used to always let that word fly out of my mouth. It's so this and it's so that. Because you got to think, he's playing up to a certain audience. We all know this. Fakum is playing up to a certain audience. As a matter of fact, when I was watching, before I even play on his video, I looked at the first couple of comments. I'm going to tell you this right now, a little tip. You don't have to run through his entire comment section because one is too long because he gets a lot of comments. You don't have to run through every comment. Just look at the first two comments. Whatever the first two comments are will pretty much tell you or give you a reflection of how the vast majority or a good 90% of his comment section is going to be. That's all I'm going to say. If the first couple of comments pretty much agree with what he said, the rest of the comments are going to agree. If the first couple of comments do not agree with what he says, they're going to all not agree for the most part. Don't believe me? Look at the ones he's done about like Uvalde, or the ones where a lot of people didn't agree with him, and then look at the other ones where they do agree. And just look at the first two comments of that one and look at the first two comments of another one. And I'm telling you, that tells you all you need to know right there. That's if you do so choose to go over there. I'll understand if you don't.
And nothing. I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing that's. You got to think the cat is out of the bag. Now, I think there's a way to stop individuals, like meaning that I teach my children not to use the word, right? Right. That circle.
I feel bad for his kids. Keep in mind, he does have a white wife. I can only imagine what is being taught to them kids in that household. I can only imagine.
Of influence and mentorship can help stop some young men from doing it, but you're talking about almost every black man in America.
What if I was to engage someone on the street and they were like, nigga?
So there it is right here. There it is. He pulled the Kramer. He went and said, what if I was to engage on the street and say, nigga? He's basically, see, and this is something that I'm going to have to echo that Rob at Blacklight Revelation said. White supremacy, that keyword there, supremacy supreme, to reign over, to control. They want to control every aspect of what black people do, what they say, how they move, how they talk, how they walk, how they think, how they operate. And the fact that black people push back against them from saying that word, even though they're the ones that came up with that word, and they hate that they can't say it the way that they want to, that's a problem for them. Whenever they kept saying, make America great again, I know what they were talking about, even though they wanted to play dumb and try to be funny about it and say they didn't know. We know what they're talking about when they say that. They know, but they have to play on this thing of acting so oblivious. Like they don't know. They know. That's part of their trick. That's all a part of their scheme. But he's talking about, what if I was to go up to a black person, engage him, and just say that? Okay, be my guest and see what happens. That's all I'm going to say.
What am I supposed to?
Now, if y'all was watching the video, Brandon looks into his camera almost like he's breaking the fourth wall when the guy says that. And he's like, he has this look of like, dude, did you like really just say this on my show? But the thing is, Brandon has built his platform around a certain talking point and with a certain audience. So he can't come at them the way that say I would, or Nicole's view would, or Harvey, or Lisa Cabrera, True Royal Family, TBA, Tariq, or Professor Black Truth, if we got that same kind of response, he can't come at that person the way we probably would. So he's going to go the extra politically correct route, and you're about to hear it. You're about to hear it over the next couple of minutes, even after he gets the guy off the phone, and then that's when the nigga splaining really kicks in. But continue to listen.
All right.
Sorry to pause it so quickly, but right there, it just got quiet, and all Brandon could do was just chuckle. Now, this is going to prove a bigger point, but I'm going to save that point for towards the end of the video.
Listen, let me give y'all some advice. Just say the N-word. Don't say the actual N-word on the radio. It's not going to go well.
Now, listen to that. He just gave this white guy a pass. He said, listen, guy, let me give you some advice. That just shows you right there who calls him to his show mainly. He said, you say the N-word does not say the N-word, basically saying nigga and not nigger. And that's what the white guy said. He said it with the ER. He just gave this white caller, who he does not know from a can of paint, and even if he did, a pass to say this word. Oh, keep locked in to this part of the video, because we're going to circle back to that when we're done going through this little breakdown.
So let me comment on what Doug was trying to say before he said the N-word on the radio. I think.
See how he's just laughing it off? And he says, let me clarify on what he was trying to say. So now he's trying to clear this white guy out the paint like we didn't all just hear what he said. He's trying to make it seem like there's something wrong with our hearing. Like we didn't just hear that, or he didn't just hear that.
He was saying, if you engage with a black person and say N-word, 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 if you do that as a white man, your life is at risk. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying.
So I had to skip ahead because he threw that music that he threw some copyrighted stuff in, so I had to pause it right quick and skip ahead. Hopefully I didn't skip too far ahead.
Nothing but black kids, and you say N-word, 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 you may take an L. Let me continue the conversation of the infamous N-word. And nothing against Doug. I think he may not have known you can't say that on the radio.
There he goes again, saying, no offense to Doug, he may not have known he couldn't say that on the radio. He knew exactly what he was doing. Like I said, this white guy was testing him to see how far Brandon would let him go. And he let him go far enough. It got to the point where he was able to say that word, and he did not once check him on it. All he did was look at the camera with this puzzled look on his face and began chuckling. Again, remember this part of the video is going to go into I promise you, is going to go into a much bigger point. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, you might know where I'm headed with this. And if not, you're going to find out.
I get his point. Let me just try to be the peacemaker between black and white people.
Nigga, no one asked you to be nobody's peacemaker. Of what? If there was a peacemaker that needed to be had, we damn sure wouldn't be calling you. Like, what do you think this is? The damage is already done. And like I said, he has to play up to his mainly white audience. So he knows he can't get out of line. Because if he does, those subscribers are going to start to drop. If you don't believe me, ask the Amazing Lucas. This guy, and I'm talking about Amazing Lucas, at one point had almost 450,000 subscribers or something close to that ballpark range. When he started to shift his talking points to be a little bit more balanced with what he talks about and not completely one-sided like this guy continues to be. Because I truly believe at one point I thought that Brandon Fakum was grifting much like the Coonstras, but I really honestly believe he believes every word that comes out of his mouth. But back to the Amazing Lucas, when he started to shift his tone and his talking points, his subscribers dropped immensely, and I actually saw them drop. Because I remember one day it was like at 400 something thousand, and I said to myself, I'm noticing a tone shift, and I said, watch, his subscribers are going to start dropping. This guy, probably in a year and some change, went from almost 450,000 subscribers to 370,000 subscribers. This guy lost almost 100,000 subscribers in about a year and some change, all because he started to be more fair and balanced and start calling out people that needed to be called out that he at one time did not call out before. But he had an awakening moment. Something happened that he saw that he didn't like, and he knew it would go against his constituents. He knew he would lose subscribers, and it did happen, but he didn't care. Now, the Amazing Lucas, if you look at his videos right now versus videos he did maybe 2 or 3 years ago, what you're hearing right now, that's the real him. That's the one that he's probably been fighting with to let be out there. And his so-called base didn't like it. This guy right here couldn't do that if he tried, because he already knows what would happen. This guy has millions of subscribers. He's making a lot of money off of the propaganda and BS that he spews out every single day. And he knows if he gets out of line even one time, them subscribers are going to drop, because he probably saw what happened to Lucas, because they used to be in the same circles. And he knows if he does that and he still them subscribers drop, it's a wrap. And he doesn't want to risk losing that. So what does he do? Engage in the manner that he is right now. Even though he knows he's wrong, the people who call into his show are wrong. His subscribers be lying to him. But to keep up appearances and to keep that money flow coming in, he's going to play the part of the prize puppet. Let me continue. I just had to get that part out there.
Some white people understand this. I think some white people don't understand. The N-word is off limits to white people whatsoever. Why? Because the history of white racist people calling black people the N-word and lynching them and beating them and all that stuff in our country. So it doesn't matter what you say. You can't use the word, or it's going to come across as incredibly offensive to just about everybody on planet Earth that understand English. Maybe let me just be more blunt. They live in America, okay? Everybody else couldn't care less. However, just Americans. Now, in the black community, for some reason, somebody slipped and fell and bumped it.
Let me just say, it's not just America. I just thought I will put that out there. He thinks it's just America, but we know his scope only goes but so far. But it's not just America.
And thought that we are taking power back from the word by using it, which I think is absolutely stupid. Because the first time a white person said it, even if they put the A on it and not the ER, you get mad. Well, that means you didn't take the power back. You still offended by the word. But the reality in the black community is that we can say it, and we grow up saying it. We grow up hearing it. It's in almost every verse of music in the hip hop genre.
No, it is not. No, it is not. He said in almost every verse of hip hop music, no, it is not. But again, that's him. This is him nigga-splaining to his base again. That's all he really does in this video. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to play this whole thing, but I might as well. I'm 5 minutes and 11 seconds in of a 7 minute and 40 second video. So I might as well continue.
And it becomes a way of life. When I was growing up all the way until I got saved, I say the N-word. I would say the N-word 100 times a day. When I see my homeboys, N-word, we just N-word it everywhere. I remember we were on campus one day, and I started to wake up to what it looked like. We're in the middle of the mall on the grass area, and we at a school at the University of Arizona, and there's like 15 black people, and they all play football. I'm just kidding. There's probably like 100 black people, and 50 of them play football. So we're on campus. It's a bunch of white people out there, and we just in. Oh, my in. You see that in yesterday? Oh, in. And white people are looking at us like we are Marvel characters. I mean, they're just stunned at the usage of the N-word. And I can see the horror in their eyes. And I said, maybe we shouldn't say the N-word like that.
And he did exactly what I knew he would do. He now has seeped, in telling his little story, whether it's real or not, that he is caring about the feelings of white people. He cares too much about how they feel and how they think about us, when we over here could give a damn. That's all I gotta say. In that moment right there, in his little story, like I said, whether real or fake, he began to care about what white people think. He said, "Oh, I just looked over and saw the horror in their eyes." So, could you imagine the horror in black people's eyes right when they were being prepared to be lynched by those same white people while they were calling us nigger? I guess not. History is lost on some people. The person on your screen, he should have a tag that says, "Hello, my name is some people."
Openly. Now, my total feeling on the N-word is that people should not say the word, period. Not just white, but black people shouldn't say it either. Because there's no taking power back from a word that was used in such a derogatory manner. And even black people use the N-word in a derogatory manner against other black people. And this is why the dilemma is so complicated. Because you have black people that say N, and they have white friends.
Now, I want you to pay attention to what he just said about the dilemma, because that's actually, I'm saying the video that is almost over. We're about less than a minute left in it. He's talking about something he reacted to that led to this part right here that completely blows everything out of the water of what he said in this video, and even goes back a little bit to what that white caller, when he called in. I'm telling you, it's all going to come, like, it's going to all be like a 180, 360 type of thing. It's all going to come full circle. Let me just put it right there.
Call their white friends the N-word. And they listen to music in front of their white friends that say N. And if their white friends was to even sing a lyric that had the N-word in it, the black friend will lose his mind. Hold up.
There he go again, playing this copyrighted stuff. Let me see if I can skip ahead a little bit.
Would be lost. And I'll say this, even though I feel like the word has no value to me, and I could care less if somebody said it, but even today, if I heard a white person say,
and you can tell, we know you could care less if anybody say it, because you laughed and chuckled when a white guy called in and said it a bunch of times. We know you could care less.
The N-word, it will be cringy to me. Like, I would feel some type of way.
Okay, let me just end it right there. Let me pause the video right quick and go into why everything he just said, which was a bunch of BS. Okay, so this is a tweet right here that I posted on my page, August 3rd, 2022. That is actually the day that I'm recording this video. It says, so according to Herschel Walker and Brandon Tatum, Negro is now the new N-word. What in the Reed Richards Stretch Armstrong reach is this? Now, to give you some more additional context, there was this guy, I forget his name. He is a contributor on MSNBC. He often pops up on Tiffany Cross Eyes, as Professor Blacktrue calls her, show. And he was talking about Herschel Walker. And in that moment when he was talking about Herschel Walker, he called Herschel Walker a Negro. He didn't say nigga. He said Negro. Then Herschel Walker's camp pushed him to put out this statement basically saying how wrong and disrespectful it was of him to call him a Negro. And that he should be ashamed of himself, and MSNBC should be ashamed of themselves for allowing him to say it and not really checking him and all this other stuff. Then, of course, Brandon Tatum hopped onto his soapbox and spewed out and said, and I kid you not, I think the title of the video was that this guy called Herschel Walker the N-word. And we're sitting back like, wait a minute. Since when did the word Negro, which is black in Spanish, become a slur? When did that become the new N-word? Like, huh? That was wild to me. But like I said, the reason why this comes full circle is because Brandon Tatum, or Fakum as I call him, had all this smoke for this black man for calling Herschel Walker a Negro. I'm not going to go over that video. Y'all can, if y'all choose to do so, y'all can go over that at your own time. But his vitriol and his tone was way different than how he was speaking to or about this white man that called into his show and said the N-word with the ER on it, which we all know is a slur. All he could do was sit back and cackle and laugh like he heard a funny joke. This is why he got a part 2. Everything that y'all just heard up until this point is exactly why Brandon Fakum Tatum got a part 2 in the Bedbuckkken series. Well deserved, if you ask me. He let that white guy call up there, say that word. He just sits and laughs, and then nigga explains it away. But this black guy called Herschel Walker a Negro, and he gets on his platform, and the tone is way different. Because like I said, he has to play it for his audience. He likes to take anything that he could deem a little bit controversial with black people that he know white people will love to hear and eat up because they won't say it because they know how they'll look. Well, guess what? To the white people who watch him, we look at him in the same disdain as we look at you, in the same exact manner. So balls back in your court. They're going to say, oh, but he's black. According to who? Only on the physical appearance he is. Internally is something else. Brandon Fakum is indeed an Oreo. Let's get that clear away right now. He is. Always has been and always will be. But that's going to pretty much conclude this Bedbuckkken video that turned into pretty much a breakdown video. Honestly, been on here for almost 30 minutes. Can't believe it. I don't like to do too many long videos, but it is what it is. If you are new to the channel, be sure to go ahead and hit subscribe, hit that bell notification and have it set to all, as well as having your notifications set to all on your mobile devices to receive notifications every time I upload a new video or go live. All links will be down in the description. Discord, Patreon, my backup channel, all of that will be down there. And with that being said, I'm going to end the video on that note, and I will talk to you in the next one.